Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Neil Carey Arena, campus of Lewis University, for tonight's men's NCAA Midwestern Intercollegiate Volleyball Association matchup featuring the Buckeyes from the Ohio State University and your University. To allow the next generation of mascots to emerge. As part of Charlie's retirement farewell tour, Charlie's going to be appearing at other events throughout the rest of this semester. Thank you, Ben, Chick, Charlie, and enjoy your retirement. Good luck, Chuck! And at this time, you can please rise and join us in the pledge of our national anthem. California, number 11, Justin Howard. Of 6'10", middle blocking sophomore from Volleyball, Ohio, number 18, Colton Young. Of 6'4", outside hitting redshirt senior from Libertyville, Illinois, number 19, Jack Stevens. The Buckeyes Libros are a 6'2" redshirt freshman from Palm Harbor, Florida, number 1, Brandon Strong. And a 5'9" junior from Dublin, Ohio, number 2, Thomas Moore. The Buckeyes are coached by Kevin Birch, assisted by Hudson Bates and Luke Wood Maloney. The Buckeyes trainer is Ray Theodore. And now, let's meet
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Neil Carey Arena for tonight's matchup featuring the Lewis University Flyers and the number 10 Ohio State University Buckeyes. I'm Allison Linkwitz, joined by Keegan Carey and Gracie Schultz of Lewis University Women's Volleyball. So, ladies, the last time the Buckeyes were on this court, they actually lost to the Flyers, so they are going to come into this game looking for some revenge. And our Flyers are coming off of a great win, so it should be a pretty even matchup, I'd say. So, we'll have to keep an eye out. There are a few injuries on the Flyers side. As we discussed last game, we have our setter, Kevin. He has a broken finger, and then our libero, Jason Gibbs, he has a hurt back, and so his diagnosis is still pending, but hopefully he will be back for senior night, which is on Saturday. So should be a great couple of games this week for the Flyers. Poole. And just like that, the Buckeyes get the first point on the board. And Wetzel will now serve for the Buckeyes. Dug up by Brohart. And Christian Prayer picks his first kill up for tonight. He serves Poole. And just a small error there for the Flyers in the back row off the hands of Max Rocky, number 9. And that serve is short. Point Lewis, score now 2-2. And Cole Brillhart steps to the line. And a short serve from Brillhart. Flyers bench not happy. And number 18, Young, will now serve for the Buckeyes. Both teams still settling into this match. We've seen a couple of out-of-system plays and a couple of missed serves. There's another one for the Buckeyes. And guys, as we discussed, last game there were several missed serves, so that's something that Lewis will definitely want to minimize this game. I mean, such easy points lost there for them, but they did still come out on top, fortunately. Wetzel, and a big block there for the Flyers, number 18, Antonio Elias, coming up big there. Great discipline from him. Michael Sack, Poole, Howard out to Pasture. And seems as though there was a touch there. Point will go to the Buckeyes. Right. Tyler Morgan. Poole. A great up there. A good save by Brillhart. Paula now. And Christian Prayer with a free ball. Poole. Right. And number 18, number 19, Stevens, with a big kill there, but the Flyers bench again not happy. I believe they thought that there should have been double contact made, and Dan Friend is also having a word right now with the official, but no challenge yet. What did you guys see there?
I saw the black go up, get a touch, and it came back on our side, so I can agree with Coach Friend that there was a double on that.
Yeah, and Gracie, what about you? Thoughts on that play?
I don't know. I think it was a clean play. I think it was a block into a recovery, so I'm not really
Gotcha. And Rocky with a big kill there. Point goes to Lewis. Score now 6-5. Flyers lead, and Rocky returns to the line. Rocky. Dug up by Poole. Right to Wetzel and down. And a big kill there for the Buckeyes. Not much Nico Paula could have done there getting to that ball, but with Jason Gibbs being out, Flyers rotate in Paula, and he's just a freshman, but it's great to see him playing with some confidence and getting some minutes in. Howard to the line for the Buckeyes. Rocky. Morgan, quick to Elias. To Prayer. And that point will go to the Buckeyes. And ladies, what happened there that point went to the Buckeyes?
Christian Prayer went to get a kill, but it hit the antenna instead of going around it.
Yeah, and that's something that we haven't seen much of. And Christian Prayer, usually a very confident, clean player, but he's been very active in the last few matches for the Flyers and has been one of their top hitters. And I know Coach Friend has a lot of faith in him. And, you know, he didn't originally start at Lewis. He is a transfer, but after speaking several times with him, it seems as though he's really been adapting well being here at Lewis, and he really enjoys this team and the style of play that they have. So it's one of the great success stories coming from a transfer. And I mean, we have a transfer up here as well with Gracie.
Yes.
So
I would agree. I really do think that the competition here at Lewis is a lot higher than what you get other places. So it's something to look forward to coming in the spring.
And there he is again, tooling the block. Christian Prayer getting another kill. Score now 8-9. Buckeyes still lead, but the Flyers keeping with them. And that serve is just long for Prayer. And number 19, Stevens, will now serve for Ohio State. Morgan, back row, Rocky. Pasture. Sails out of bounds, but there was a touch. The Flyers looking a little bit confused. Pleading with Coach that there was no touch. And Coach Friend will have a word with Tyler Morgan, who will stay where he's at. Seemed as though he was gonna speak with the official, but the play will resume. Morgan, Michael Sack. And just really good placement there by number 17, Michael Sack. And Grace, are you a middle?
Yes.
So,
yes.
See, watching Michael Sack play, what are some of the things that he does that you really enjoy watching?
You know, and just the difference between men's and women's volleyball is just crazy to me, just the height that they get over the net. But I love the fact that they triple block a lot of balls. It's really helpful as a middle to have those extra hands, whether you see it or not.
And there he is again, coming up big. And not to discredit Christian Prayer, a great save. Staying low and getting underneath that ball and setting his teammate up. Michael Sack getting a second kill. Pasture. And he is just so powerful. He's definitely one of the main powerhouses on this Buckeye team. Very hard to stop, and he just hits with so much pace, so much control. He's very precise. Wetzel.
Wow.
Big kill there by number 6. And Wetzel, just a freshman, playing like he's been on the court for some time now. But that play is now under review. And we saw quite a few challenges in the last match here in Neil Carey. And as we spoke about last time, we have upgraded to an iPad. So we no longer have view of the monitor, unfortunate for us, but fortunate for the officials, because that means that we now have some new updated systems here in Neil Carey. There's cameras just any and everywhere that you look. So it's great for review. And speaking with Jules from the women's volleyball team last time, she mentioned that you ladies might now have some review during your games, which I don't think you guys have previously had.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, something about possibly utilizing that, but we shall see. I mean, it's in every sport now. It's in, you know, there's VAR for soccer. I'm a soccer player, and now, you know, there's official reviews for volleyball, basketball, any game that you play, it's there. So you can hate it or love it, but at the end of the day, it does come up pretty useful. And do we know what the challenge was on that last play? It was hard to see from up here, but
my guess would be back row attack.
okay.
Okay.
If he stepped over the line, maybe. I actually don't really know.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a quick sport. If you blink, you might miss it. So.
Yep.
But I mean, the Buckeyes, excuse me, they're actually on a pretty good win streak right now. I know they've tallied up 4 dubs in their last few games, and they recently beat Penn State, who is one of the top-ranked teams. I believe it was in 5 sets. So they are a very competitive team, and looking at their roster, they have, you know, a good mix of ages. So we are a fairly young team when it comes down to it, but it's good to see us develop, and I'm sure that this Ohio State team will also stick around because they have such various ages, so that's always great to see. And they have a few key players, as do we, and you know, some of our key players are unfortunately injured right now, but no doubt they'll be back, whether or not it's at Lewis or they further their career elsewhere. So lots to look forward to, and it's crazy how time has flown by, as I'm sure everyone would agree. One of the last games here in Neil Carey, so it's kind of bittersweet. And I mean, senior night is Saturday, and it's against Ball State, so that's another great matchup. But and seems like it will stick with the Buckeyes there. Not sure what the challenge was, but they will get the point. And they lead by 3. And that serve is long. And looking at service errors, the Buckeyes now with 4 and Lewis with 2. And Michael Sack. Poole, right. Wetzel, big block there. It seems like it was going into the net, but Elias Rodriguez doing a good job getting up there and staying disciplined. Poole, right. And from the back row is Stevens.
Stevens with the kill point. Ohio State. Right serving.
Stevens is a redshirt senior from Libertyville, Illinois. And he is one that is hard to stop, so. Morgan, Rocky.
Ooh. Deep power 5. That was really good.
And a great job by Rocky. The placement perfectly falling in that back corner. Tyler Morgan for the Flyers. Stevens, right.
Out of the bounds.
Wetzel out of bounds. Point Lewis. Score now even at 14. Stevens, right. And Wetzel, good recovery there, Tyler Morgan. Christian Prayer. And that was just a really tough angle for him to get up there, but
That was a great block recovery by Tyler Morgan, though.
Yeah.
yeah, he is just a player that always provides maximum effort, no matter the game or situation. So fun to watch. Prayer, Morgan, Rocky, and down. Oh, and again, Flyers unhappy with the call. It looked in from our angle, to me at least. I don't know about.
It looked a little
I
out
thought there
to
was a
me,
touch.
but I didn't hear the touch or see it, but could
So,
be.
we are divided up here as they are down there. I guess we will see who comes up right. It's good to see the officials being so diligent with, the reviews, but it does, slow down the game, and it can either hurt or help, honestly. If your team is in a momentum and there's a challenge, it sort of freezes you, and
Right.
we'll see, because it's a really tough call to make there, so. Officials are still reviewing. And looking around here in Neil Carey right now, it seems like we've got a very good turnout for tonight's game. The theme is blackout, and our student section is filled. So that's always great to see. And I mean, it is some of these players' last couple games, so I'm sure their friends are out supporting them as well as their families, members, and it's good to see some Ohio State fans here too. I mean, they travel very well, so it's great to see them, and I'm pretty sure I saw a bus in the parking lot, not for the team, but
a charter
for the fans.
Yeah,
so that's amazing.
There's
and
two high schools here, St. Charles North and Lyons Township.
So we have a great turnout here in Neil Carey then with some young players, and it's always cool to have them come and watch our games. And usually we do have another team member, Carter Johnson, on the bench, but he is out of town, I believe. So
Yep.
Yeah, Carter.
He is in Florida.
He's not with us here today, and I mean, it's always so fun having him on the bench. So I'm sure the boys are definitely missing him, but he will be back. And you guys have a team impact player also.
Yeah.
We've mentioned her before.
She's actually here right now.
Oh, she is.
Yeah.
So where is she, and how's she doing lately? Has she been coming to your scrimmages? And
yeah. She was just at our past scrimmage this Saturday where we went 2-0. She's always into it.
Aw.
She loves it so much.
I love it. All right, so after that review, it seems as though the point again will stay with the Buckeyes. Dan Friend not happy, but it's just so close, such a tough call to make. Again, that ball looked into me, it looked out, and it looked possibly touched. So three options there. And Pasture serves into the net. That point will go to Lewis. Rocky. Good save there. Right out to Wetzel.
Oh,
great
right
ding.
there.
Nico Paula, and
Great
a great
hustle by
recovery.
Tyler. Wow.
And Paula again. Rocky, smart shot.
Great
Max
spot.
Rocky.
Great hustle effort. That's just called high IQ in volleyball right there.
A very knowledgeable play and a very just tough play. Nico Paula all starting with him. 2 great saves in a row, and he's just such a great player and such a great person overall. Yeah, and I spoke with some of the boys, and they mentioned that during practice he's just a player that will always be into it. And I mean, you look at him, and I've heard that he wears almost 3 knee pads on each leg, and he's bruised, but I mean, he will give you 110% effort every game.
There we go.
Wetzel, big block there. Point goes to the Flyers, and Lewis looking pretty strong right now. Number 11, Ryan Collins, enters the match for the Flyers, and he will serve. Right, Wetzel.
Out.
Out of bounds, no touch. Right. Stevens, Pasture, back to Stevens.
Great touch.
And there was a net violation, unfortunately, there for the Flyers. But Christian Prayer doing a good job getting up for the block. The front row for Lewis right now playing very aggressive and doing a good job in that front. Morgan. Brillhart dug up by Pasture to right. Wetzel blocked but out of bounds. And another service error. That's now 6 for the Buckeyes. Prayer. Dug up by Stevens, but back to Lewis. Brillhart to Morgan. Rocky from the back. Michael Sack to Brillhart, and a big block there by number 18, Young. Seems like the Ohio State bench was a little bit upset before that ball was blocked. Did you guys see anything there that they could have been wanting to challenge if it hadn't gone their way?
I didn't notice anything, but I'm sure they could have found something to.
Yeah, it looked like they said when Max tried to tip it, they didn't touch it. So.
Michael Sack with the kill. And this is a very close first set, and I mean, we could have predicted it. Both of these teams looking to continue their winning runs. The Flyers picking up a win last week versus Purdue Fort Wayne, and the Buckeyes just on a 4-game winning streak, so. And Lewis gets the point and force the Buckeyes to call their first timeout, and so Lewis is coming in hot right now, and I think that the Buckeyes are a little bit frazzled, but they're going to look to regroup right now. So far, what have we seen in this first set that has been key to both team successes? For me, personally, it has been just the Flyers' grittiness. We've seen just so many really great saves and recoveries, whether it was Nico Paula or Tyler Morgan. And just our players have just not been giving in. And so what has it been for you two ladies?
I can agree, the grittiness. They've done a lot of hustle down plays that they're not letting the ball drop. So they're keeping the ball alive as long as they can.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like for Ohio State, they've been running a lot of back row attacks, which I think throws up the block, so it gives them a little bit of maybe an extra edge on, getting the ball over the net in still an aggressive manner. So I think that's doing them a lot of justice here on this game right now.
Yeah, I do agree. And I mean, for the Buckeyes, a lot has been going right for them. They've been staying pretty good in system right now, but I think that just those last few plays, they were a little bit frantic, which slowed them down a bit and allowed the Flyers to sneak in there and grab those couple of points and pull away. But the score is 21-20, and Lewis is leading, but the Buckeyes are not going down without a fight. This is a very close match so far, and I'm sure the next few sets will continue to be also. Brillhart. Right. And Young with the hammer down. And number 18, Cole Young, is a sophomore from Powell, Ohio. He's 6'10". Definitely a tough player. At the net. Ooh. And an error there by Brillhart. And Brillhart a little bit frustrated with himself, but his teammates are cheering him up and telling him, hey, it happens. I mean, I'm sure we've all been there as athletes. Sometimes you just get in your head a little bit, and it's not your performance. It's kind of just your mentality. And I think Brohart there just was a little bit in his head, but
especially towards the end of a set,
right.
you know. It's hard to make a mistake and then recover so fast when you don't have enough points to really do it, it seems.
Yeah, definitely being so close, too. I mean, the first set, I think it could go, you know, it could really set the tone for the game.
Right.
But it also, you know, it could be a good thing where you're up, or it could, you know, light a fire underneath you and make you, you know, need to play harder. So it could go either way. But, I mean, win or lose this first set, both teams are not going to give up, so. And the student section is getting pretty hype right now, doing a little bit of roller coaster action. Young will serve for the Buckeyes. Oh, and another error there by Brohart. And Cole Young going on a little bit of a service run. But it ends there. Score now 22-23. The Buckeyes still lead here in Neil Carey, but Flyer fans are on their feet. And Michael Sack is at the line. And we've seen quite a few great service runs from Michael Sack, so let's see what he can do with this one. And that was kind of just an unfortunate play right there. It seems as though a lot of the Flyers were anticipating that ball going over the net. A little bit slow to move and get there, but it is now set point for the Buckeyes. And these last few points have definitely been a little bit harsh for the Flyers. Just some simple mistakes that really could be fixed. But moving forward, they will definitely look to fix them. I mean, we've seen so many great things from them in this first set, so I think they need to just calm down a little bit, take a few deep breaths. But I think that Young's service run kind of put them in a little bit of a tizzy, and a couple of mistakes by Brohart. Usually don't see that from him, but they're going to move forward. I think that Coach Friend will be looking to make a few substitutions shortly. I mean, he had mentioned he was going to play a couple of different guys. And with the injuries, I mean, it's bound to kind of move around a little bit for the Flyers here. So hopefully after this timeout, they will regroup and get back out there on the court. Right. Tough serve, Morgan. Prayer. And Prayer coming up big there for the Flyers. And Tyler Morgan is now at the line for Lewis. Score 23-24. Still set point for the Buckeyes. Right. Good block there by Elias Rodriguez, but the Buckeyes recover. Pasture. Free ball there. Right. Pasture again. Great recovery there. Antonio Elias Rodriguez with the save. And the block there. And coming up
That's
big
amazing.
Antonio Elias Rodriguez. Big play for him, and you know, being a senior, I'm sure
looks like Ohio State is challenging that.
There is a challenge, but wow,
that was amazing.
That's something that you don't see a lot of from him.
Right.
We've seen those plays previously, but it's great to see that from him. He is just such a great leader. He's a redshirt senior, and I mean, he comes up big when you need him, but he's more of a silent leader, so it's great to see him getting a lot of hype right now. And I mean, that play was amazing. He stuck with it so well, and that's something that in the past Dan Friend mentioned that he wants to see more of, is just discipline and just sticking with it. So great to see that recovery there, and we'll see how this play goes, but it seems as though there was a touch.
I think so.
I don't know, Keegan, what have you seen? You've been I think 2 for 2 now, so it's kind of your word.
I actually don't know. I was just staring at Antonio because of how awesome that was.
Well, we were all in awe up here. I mean, it's one of those plays that it kind of just electrifies the whole arena. And
by the look of the one that just got touched, basically, it looked like he did touch it just by his facial
he sort of turned around. Yeah, you know what? That's always what gives it away. It's kind of like the turn around and check your shoulder. Who saw that? Nobody. Okay, but no. I guess we'll see. I mean,
yeah, we'll see.
If it goes the Flyer way, I mean, wow, Antonio Elias Rodriguez, wow. But I mean, is it too late to change like your favorite moment as a senior? Because you might want to pencil that one in.
Right. Oh my gosh.
If we do get this point, it's gonna be a big momentum point for us.
Definitely. I mean, 24-24.
Game. That's crazy.
It is a nail biter, and we keep saying it. We'll keep saying it. This is going to be a close game. I mean, this set doesn't determine anything, I would say. So
it just shows how capable they are of battling back and forth.
Exactly.
Though, really.
And I mean, this conference is so fun because these teams are so evenly matched that it could go either way. I mean, you toss a coin, really, when you play this game. So it's always fun watching the Mivas, but looks like officials have made their decision.
Oh man.
So
Looks
that
like Coach Dan Friend is not happy with that call.
That is a very unfortunate call. But again, it doesn't determine anything. We still have possibly several more sets to be played.
Right.
And we will be right back. Stay with us.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
And we are back. Tough first loss. That first set for the Flyers. I mean, regardless, the effort was incredible, but just very unfortunate there for the Flyers. And I think that Dan Friend was very upset with that call. And I mean, I had a couple of people come up to me and jokingly ask, you know, like, did you see the replay? And they, you know, they said they thought the call should have been reversed. So.
Right. I think momentum is a huge thing to start off a game. And with that play, no matter how it ended, how the game ended, the momentum is there for both sides, you know. It's just equally the luck of the draw at this point.
Yeah, I do agree. I mean, just very unlucky there, but second set should be, you know, just as entertaining, I bet. So Morgan Brillhart off the hands of Cole and down. And Cole Brillhart redeeming himself there. He had a tough couple of errors in the last set. Rare from him, but just a really great leader on this team, and he'll definitely be, you know, missed next year. It's crazy to think about this team not having Cole Brillhart on it, but Morgan.
That was good center dump.
Tricky. Tyler Morgan, number 3, with the dump there. I love seeing that from him, and he's just very tricky with it. I mean, it catches me off guard, I gotta say. I can't imagine being on the other side of the net. Tough serve there.
Big double.
Number 8, right, the setter for the Buckeyes, doing a good job recovering the positioning. You know, he had to make the most of that, but there was, you know, double contact there. Prayer. Serve is long. This has been a better game, I'd say, for the Flyers with their, you know, service errors. They are limited now to, I believe, 4. And the Buckeyes have 7, so good job eliminating those so far in this match. Morgan. Prayer from the back.
Oh, great swing by Christian.
Tough swing there by Prayer, getting the point for the Flyers, and they're coming out strong. And I mean,
Here we go. There's that momentum.
It's the momentum and the want for revenge. I mean, short serve there, right. Pasture, Rocky, Morgan, Brillhart. Great tooling.
Great tool by Cole Brillhart.
Brillhart, and I couldn't see which Buckeye, but making a little bit of contact underneath the net and, you know, laughing it off, the two of them. And great sportsmanship so far in this matchup. We've seen a little bit of chippiness, but nothing extreme, which is good because you love seeing that.
Great swing.
And yeah, that was a tough swing there. For the Buckeyes, it's now 5-2. Lewis leads. And Young is at the line now. Brillhart. Morgan. Rocky. And tough positioning there for Max Rocky. Trying to do what he could, but that ball does end up out of bounds. Young. Brillhart. Morgan. Off the hands.
Great
out of
swing by
bounds.
Max.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the threats on this Flyer team, Max Rocky is at the top of every list. I mean, in almost every aspect. He is such a great, well-rounded player and very tough to stop. Sack. And that serve is out of bounds. That's now 4th service error for the Flyers. Excuse me, 5th service error. Right. Tough serve. Good dig by Brillhart. And just a misconnection there between Antonio Elias Rodriguez and Tyler Morgan, and we haven't seen a lot of that so far this season, but was it a matter of just being too early, too late? What would you think, Gracie?
I would say probably too high in the set, but I don't know. I think there could have been a little bit better of a recovery from that.
And Keegan, for women's volleyball, what position are you?
I'm a right side.
So what have you seen from our right sides or Ohio State's right side so far that's
You know,
been
Christian
interesting?
Prayer is just unbelievable. Like,
Yes.
he's amazing. So, yeah.
And the Buckeyes catching up a little bit to the Flyers' early lead. And the Flyers are looking to regroup right now. Good communication there from Captain Tyler Morgan. And Pasture is at the line for the Buckeyes. Paula.
Great set. Great swing.
And yeah, as we just mentioned, Christian Prayer, there he is again, number 23. And he now has 5 kills on the night. Good serve there by Rocky. Right to Wetzel. And Nico Paula just couldn't get good contact there. I mean, with a swing like that, I can't imagine being in his shoes,
No,
but
not at all. That is unfathomable for me. I can't with being a middle. I've never played back row, so
right.
being a middle versus these guys is scary.
Wow.
That's
And
a great
That
set.
was.
That was another one, and I think that the Flyers are going to take a couple extra seconds right now in their huddle, because I think that they're losing a bit of momentum right now, and they're getting in their heads a bit. So Paula, Morgan, Prayer.
Great swing by Christian.
Elias Rodriguez will serve for the Flyers. And an error there. That's now the 6th for the Flyers. And this second set is now even at 9. Ticks off the
Great
tape.
serve.
A service ace there for Christian Prayer. I feel like right now Christian Prayer is doing a good job on the response. It's something happens, you can count on him to turn those tables. He's done it now quite a few times, whether it was, getting a big kill or a service ace, and hopefully he can keep that up for the rest of this match. Big shot there. Cole Brohart and Michael Sack teaming up. Cole Brohart coming up big there, though. And the bench is enjoying that one. We see Alec Leonard and Chase Selahowski, just a little bit of a cradle rock. Right?
Oh, wow.
Stevens down. Not much you could do there. I mean, his placement is just very accurate, and just the amount of power that he can generate with his swing. And he will now serve for the Buckeyes. Score 12-10, Flyers with the lead, but it's been very back and forth so far, and I mean, that is just a huge block there by the setter, number 8, right? Stevens will serve again. Rocky to Morgan, out to Prayer from the back. Tool in the block there, Christian Prayer. Again, another response from him.
Right, I feel like the Flyers know where to put the ball or who to give the ball to when they're, you know, down when they have a bad play. So it's good to see that he's able to, you know, stand the pressure.
Yeah, he definitely is a player that plays with a lot of confidence, and I've spoken with him several times, and we are close friends, and he mentioned that in the past he's been, you know, not struggling with confidence, but it's something that he's always wanted to work on it. And joining this team, being a transfer, he was a little bit nervous about it, but I mean, he looked at it as just an opportunity, and coming from St. Francis, he knew the level of play was going to be quite a bit higher here with Lewis, and man, he's just really stepped it up, and I think that he should be proud of himself so far, and especially in this game. I mean, he's had some great plays. The Flyers right now are a little bit upset with that last play.
Max was trying to tool the right side's hands.
Seems like we're going to have another challenge. Dan Friend. I think this is now Coach Friend's third, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. I think it is his third challenge. And just double checking with you two volleyballers, how does this work? 3 challenges, and if you
don't win it, then
lose them? I don't know, because you guys don't have them.
I don't know.
But I think I could be wrong, but from my previous encounters with my other volleyball girls that are always up here with me, I think it's 3. And you know, lose them if you get them wrong. And I think you get 1 more in a 5th set. But I'm not sure if he has used 3 of them yet. I think he so non-hesitantly grabbed that challenge card. I don't think it's his 3rd, but they're going to review it again, and I'm sure these officials are kind of tired of that new fancy iPad, but it comes in handy. I mean, if it gets the right call, it gets the right call, but again, you really love it or hate it. And I mean, being a soccer fan and having VAR, and you know, in soccer, especially professional soccer, there's a hand motion that they use before they go view it. They draw a square with their hands. And whenever I see the officials, the referees, we call them in soccer, raise their hand, it's just, oh no, because they leave the field. And I mean, a soccer pitch is a lot bigger than, you know, this court, but it takes so much time, and it really just kills the game.
Right.
It's over every little thing now. So, well, I mean, in soccer, you can't use your hands. So handball or offsides, or, you know, it could be a number of things. So it's not my favorite. I'm actually writing a paper right now about it. So
there you go.
maybe I'll switch sports to volleyball and write about this, but we'll see what the officials think. And again, very close second set, 13 even. Both teams playing with a lot of grit right now. And the officials are going to speak with Coach Friend about this call, so
it's not looking.
It's not looking
not
good.
looking too pretty.
Ooh, the raise of the hands, never good. Coming from my coach, especially. I mean, being an athlete, you kind of grow to learn coach's body language.
Right.
Just one glance, you can tell, but I guess we'll see here because they're still speaking about it. So it's a very controversial play, and it's gonna go to the Buckeyes. Not much you could do there, and I mean, again, the game will resume, but it's very unfortunate. And losing, I mean, I think Coach Friend has now lost at least 2 challenges we've seen, so tough there for the Flyers. But Brillhart, Rocky, big swing there, good recovery, right out to Wetzel, down, and a bit of the stare down after it. Yeah, this team is definitely playing with a bit more of an edge, I'd say. They've got a bit more confidence and a bit more swagger. So just at the moment, this Flyer team is just, they're so capable of regrouping, so no doubt. out of bounds. Point Lewis. Oh. Another unfortunate, just unforced error there.
Yep.
I mean, a net violation. And it's going to cause them to take another timeout. I mean, the unforced errors right now are kind of just a dagger into the heart for this Flyers team, because you can tell they want it, and it's just those silly little errors that are throwing their game right now. And so they'll want to look to minimize. They've picked up more service errors in this set than we've seen before, so we'll minimize those moving forward. The Buckeyes, though, I think have just been playing with more of just the edge to them. I mean, I think that winning that first set and in the manner that they won it, so unfortunate, but I mean, I really think it just kind of got them going. They're going to be tough to slow down for the rest of this game, but I think that moving forward, Flyers, we've seen them do it so many times. We've seen them come back from, you know, being really down and taking this. They can get kicked and they'll stand back up, and I think that this team will do that right here tonight. But so far, what do you need to see more of from them? I mean, to clean up their game, but what do you ladies think?
I don't know. I just feel like a lot of our swings have just gone out of bounds.
Right.
Yeah, definitely service errors. What about you, Gracie?
Yeah, and it might be strategic swings, but just executing them better, I think, would be the only thing that can.
Yeah, that's a great point. Just the final execution, I think that the thought process is there. It's just the execution that fails them ultimately. But regardless, it's still 13-15. It's still an extremely close game, and it's not uncommon for this Flyer team to make a comeback. So smart shot there, but recovered well. Pasture, good recovery. Good, Brillhart. And he'll make another recovery. Nail biter, that one looked a little close.
Oh, off the high hands.
Yeah, that's going to be out of bounds. Point Buckeyes. And there's that just smartness that we've seen from them. I think that they're playing with a little bit more of a, what did you call it, Keegan? Volleyball IQ.
Yep,
we see
high
right
volleyball
now.
IQ.
Morgan. Rocky.
Great swing.
Such a tough swing there, but going Rocky's way, I mean, good recovery there, and I think that's just kind of a play that the Flyers needed at the moment. So let's see what Michael Sack can do again. He's had great service runs. Tough there to see that from Michael Sack, but it's good to see him getting low. I mean, he joked with me once, and it's hard for a middle to kind of get down like that.
Right.
But he gave it his all. I mean, it didn't go his way, but that's something that I'm sure Dan Friend is happy to see a little bit of. Prayer. And missed out. I don't know if that was contact or a net violation. What did you guys see?
I think there was a net violation.
There was a net violation.
Okay. So another unforced error, but this time going the Flyers' way. And Tyler Morgan will now serve for Lewis. Score is still 15-17. Buckeyes have the lead. Right.
Great block.
Big block there. Prayer and Antonio Elias Rodriguez. Great defense there for the Flyers. I think that Antonio Elias Rodriguez is kind of out for blood right now with that, you know, last unfortunate play in the first set. Really looking to get that one back. Pasture. Little bit of a miscommunication.
Wow.
That was a great swing.
Wow.
The Flyers clearly upset with this.
Especially the student section. It's looking like it was out of bounds from the antenna just by number 7 and all of their mannerisms on the court right now.
And this
they
is
know
just
it full well.
We have,
Wow.
I don't think I've seen this in Neil Carey.
Wow.
The fans are booing, and Tyler Morgan clearly extremely upset. with that last play. And I mean, he's a player that usually keeps his cool, but looking at him putting his hands to his face and shaking his head, I mean, there was clearly something there, and I think that that is a missed call, but we will see if Dan Friend is able to challenge. I'm not sure if he is.
It looks like he is, and
so that means
that was definitely out of bounds because there's no way he could swing like that from all the way out there.
That was crazy angle for real.
I think that you two are right, but I think that it's just,
I don't know.
I mean, looking at our student section, it's so funny to see because we have women's volleyball in the front row.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact that several of you are trained in officiating.
You see, we all got
you
it.
guys. And Jules was up here. I love Jules last game with me. And she was telling me, like, this is the, officiating staff that actually trained me to be an official. And Jules now looking at her front row.
Right?
Well, if she was trained well, I mean, I guess we'll have to see which way the call goes. But, I mean, this is, you hate to see this, but you love it because both teams are so engaged. The fans are engaged in this match. It means a lot to both of them. And so I think it's meaning that both teams are playing with a lot of heart and they want this win. And I mean, it's 1 point, yes, but at the same time, it's 1 point.
Right, and it's a huge point for the Ohio if they do get that. That's a great swing from number 7. It was just,
I mean, a nearly impossible angle.
Right.
So.
But it does put a lot of stress on the refs to, be on top of everything at all times.
Yeah, that is a great point.
But let's see.
Oh, and it was our point.
Lewis.
Yep. I could just tell number 7, like, he laughed so hard after he swung at that ball.
You know what? And they're smiling and they're chatting. They're chatting with each other right now between the net. I mean, I'm sure, the volleyball community, as I've talked with several players about, several of you ladies have mentioned that it's quite different for the men because it is a bit smaller. So a lot of these players know each other, have played with each other previously.
Yep.
So it's funny to see those little exchanges. I think that Pasture knew.
Yeah.
Ooh, and it's tough. Oh,
good hustle by Cole, real hard.
Great all-out effort, but yeah, tough swing there. Nico Paula couldn't get that ball in a good spot there for his teammate. And Pasture is now at the line.
Great up by Nico.
That one sails out of bounds. Max Rocky, an attack error there for him, but he still leads with 8 kills. Christian Pereira following him with 6. Michael Sack with 3. Score 17-19. The Flyers are behind currently, but we've seen a lot of great plays from them. Good up, Nico Paula. Great recovery. Pasture from the back. Oh, wow.
Amazing.
Oh, shoot.
And Nico Paula really frustrated with himself, but you know what? It's exhausting.
Yeah.
And he had several just great plays, and I mean, the capability that he has being so young. You learn from those mistakes, and I mean, he should pat himself on the back that you can only do so much, but I'm sure he is a perfectionist, as several of us athletes are. But it's now 17-20, and these Flyers are playing extremely gritty, I must say, but it's just the execution, I think you mentioned, is failing a bit. And so moving forward, I think that it's just a matter of kind of keeping your head. I think that the officiating has been great, but I think that it's just both teams are so heavily involved in this game and invested into it that it's a lot of pressure on them as well, and it forces, a lot of moments that kill momentum.
Right.
And I think that that's kind of hurt and harmed both teams. So several challenges, and I think that Dan Friend is running out. So that's another, questionable. Do we challenge? Do we hold back? And it can affect a game that is this close. So. I mean, so far on this Buckeyes team, we've seen a lot of great plays, but who's a standout player for you guys right now?
I'm a middles girl, so.
I'm a middle girl, yeah.
Number 18 has just been really you know, his block and his attack, his timing is just so nice.
Yeah, I do agree. Cole Young, number 18, playing a great game so far tonight.
Right.
And Keegan, what about you? What have
Number
you seen?
number 7, for
Number
sure.
7's
He's fun
good.
to watch.
Pasture, yeah, he is a fun player to watch. He's definitely one of their go-to guys on this Buckeye team. Prayer, tooling the block there. Christian Prayer. And again, the response, I think that you can count on him because it seems as though after every tough call, he's there. And we're going to see number 22, John Davis, entering the match to serve. And Max Rocky will take a breather. Good to see John Davis back onto the court.
Great serve by John Davis.
Good block there. Good recovery there. Free ball, Antonio Elias Rodriguez. Christian Prayer. Brillhart off the hands.
Great shot.
Good play there for the Flyers. Definitely something that they needed in this moment. And I mean, Brillhart coming up big, and he's a great example of a player that could make a couple of mistakes and put it behind him. I think that's personally, I struggle with that. I don't know about you two ladies, but there he is. I mean, he has bounced back so well into this match, and I think that, I mean, he's forcing a timeout, and the game is now, it's a 1-point game late in this second set. I mean, he's doing a great job so far, and I think that it comes down to the toughness right now. I think that that's an aspect that the Flyers are excelling in. I think that the Buckeyes are a little bit cleaner and a little bit, I guess you could say, more technical. That's what I would say in soccer. But the Flyers are just relentless. I mean, there's something going on. There's something in the air. They are not giving up on a single play. It's making this game very enjoyable to watch.
For sure.
And there's just a lot going on at Lewis this week anyway. I mean, there's so much that's, I think, a lot of people are getting involved in. We had our Day of Giving, which was a huge fundraiser for so many of the great programs that we have here at Lewis. And we got a couple of great volleyball games. We have some other spring sports. There was softball, baseball, I mean, lacrosse, you name it. And I think that it's that point in the semester where it's, you know, we're wrapping up and there's so much going on. It's like you almost wish that you had more time when at one point you wish that it would end. So it's crazy. Graduation is approaching, and I already have a final in one of my classes, which is blowing my mind. I'm just happy that I have a 5th year, and so I'll be around, but some of these players are saying goodbye, and I mean, it's just insane to think. And you know, there's so many talented players that they could really, that is a service ace. Big point there, John Davis.
Tied the game.
Tying the game, coming in off of the bench and tying the game. Such an impact player he is. But yeah, another, you know, just so many players that are so talented, like John Davis, and the ones that are leaving, I mean, they could further their career whether or not they're at Lewis. So fun to watch. And that's a net violation there for Lewis. And Max Rocky will re-enter the match.
Rocky returns for the Flyers. Kyle Tooney enters for the Buckeyes to serve, replacing Justin Howe.
Yeah, another unforced error there, and I think that, you know, just it's so tough getting so close to the net. I don't know how you guys do it, but Christian Prayer having a conversation there with Coach Friend explaining what had happened, and he'll definitely move on from that. And that's a big service error resulting in the Flyer point. It's now even at 21. Ryan Collins entering the match. The environment, it just, I mean, the volume in here in Neil Carey right now. I think that this environment is something that the boys really need today and Saturday, and I think that the fans are coming up big in this match. Right. Wetzel. Oh, he's just so hard to stop. I think that when he goes up, he knows exactly where he's going, and that makes him so lethal. I mean,
he has a fast arm swing.
Yeah, definitely. 22-21, Flyers down by 1 in the second set. Lost the first one, so close. Wetzel. Prayer. Oh,
great swing.
Great swing there.
Right outside of the block.
Yep. That's awesome.
Yeah, Buckeyes definitely needing to close that block. I mean, he slipped right through there, and again, response player. There's no other way to put it. I think that he really just kind of generates and builds off the momentum when something doesn't go their way. That is another service error, however, though. So that's going to be looking at the stats. It's now 10 for the Buckeyes and 7 for the Flyers. They're creeping up a little bit as the match goes on, but doing a good job of keeping it so far fairly decent. But Stevens into the net, even at 23 now. And Cole Brohart to the line. We've seen a different swing from him lately. His serve has been very short, very floated. And there it is again, but great recovery, Max Rocky. You were a little bit behind him, but and off the hands of Rocky and out of bounds. It's now again set point for the Buckeyes, 24-23, and Young will serve. It is so exhausting watching. I can't imagine being on the court.
Right.
I mean,
it's definitely a lot of movement.
Oh,
Wow.
Rocky.
Great swing by Max.
Coming back big again. There's that relentlessness that we've seen time and time again from this Flyer team. I mean, if at first you don't succeed, they're going to try and try and try again, because we've just seen so many response plays. Christian Prayer, Max Rocky, Cole Brohart. And now we have Alec Leonard on the court, a senior, and he's another face that it'll be crazy not to see around campus next year, but close to the net. Oh, and right, getting the point there, and I mean, very narrow, very close to the net, and Wright just came out with it then, but it's 25-24.
And this number 8 has a really good serve.
He does. It dips almost. You want to see it at the last moment, and there's so much speed on it. I mean,
so fast.
Nico Paul is clearly locked in, and good recovery there.
Yes.
Rocky. Big response by Max Rocky. I mean, he sent that ball, I don't even know where. I think it was the 6th or 7th row of the stands.
Right.
That was insane. The power that he had. His swing came in with a vengeance. I mean,
yeah, with a wide open net, those are always so fun.
Tyler Morgan now serves for the Flyers. It's 25 even. Right, Pasture. Oh, and
He is just amazing.
He is, and he just sneaks that one in right into the block, but he knows where it's going. He's got very good eyes, I want to say, with when he goes up, but.
Right, I would agree.
And Jacob Pasture is a junior. So he's got possibly a couple more years here with Ohio State. So he's going to look to elevate his game even more. That serve takes off the tape and out of bounds. And the Buckeyes are going to call a timeout. And if I'm not mistaken, I want to say it was last year when these two teams met. I think it was one of the longest running sets that's ever been played. If I'm not mistaken, it was Ohio State. I would love to find out right now. But do you remember? It was a game that
I don't know
went
if it was
in,
Ohio State. I think it was McKendree.
do you think?
Because we had practice afterwards, and we didn't start practice till like 9
Oh
o'clock.
my goodness, it's always things like that that make you remember.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, regardless, this could be one of those sets. Whether it was like this last year or not, it might be just as similar because it's 26, it's even. Both teams are really looking to grab this second set. I mean, the manner that Ohio State came up with the first one, they're going to want to look to do the same, and the Flyers are never going to want to let that happen again. So, folks, it could go either way, and it's been, you know, obviously I'm a Lewis student, but it's been a pleasure watching both of these teams really hash it out right now. And regardless, I'm just really enjoying the volleyball that's being played, as I'm sure everyone else in Neil Carey is. And Rocky's going to serve for the Flyers. Again, it's even at 26. Pasture to right, back to Pasture.
So we're just going to keep feeding him.
Yeah, he is a key player. He is the go-to man right now for this Ohio State team. He's just nearly unstoppable. And good recovery there, Brohart. And now Ohio State picks up set number 2. Going into this third set, the Flyers going to have to make quite a bit of a comeback. There's, you know, no doubt that they can do it, but this is probably not how Dan Friend pictured this matchup going. But stay with us, because if this third set is anything like the first two, you're not going to want to miss it.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right, because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign, not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
And we are back, set number 3. I don't know what word you guys would use for those first 2 sets, but I would say if you're a Flyer fan, heartbreaking.
Right. Yeah, it's coming down to the wire every single time. It's just point for point at this point.
It is so back and forth. Could you ask for a closer game? I don't think so. I mean, regardless who you're cheering for, it's just fun to watch at this point. Wetzel.
Yep.
He has just been lethal the past 2 sets.
Yep.
And I mean, I think it was you, Keegan, you mentioned just his swing.
Mm-hmm. Just a fast arm swing.
And I think that personally some of the key points would be definitely slowing down number 7, Pasture. He has just been completely just a rocket as well, so. And Wetzel steps to the line for Ohio State. Good up there by Brillhart. Prayer. Wow.
Great swing.
I would hate to be that ceiling. That was so much power. I think that he put everything into that he wanted to in those last 2 sets. I think that was just, he's calm now. He got it all out.
Yeah. Great move.
And again, effort is there for the Flyers, but just, you know, a tough.
It's just we're having trouble with our execution at this
Yeah.
point. Oh, we switched middles. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, so on the court right now for Lewis, number 14, Peter Vimachil, just a freshman. We've seen, you know, quite a bit of him in the last few matches. I don't believe he played much against Purdue Fort Wayne, but previously he's tallied quite a few minutes as just a freshman. So, and that ball is still playable, and it ends up in the hands of Pasture.
With a triple block, he still got through that.
Awesome. That's great.
There is just no preventing it, and I mean, I'm speechless. There's not much you can say about him other than wow. Morgan back to Rocky. Good recovery there. Pasture sends it over. Christian Prayer from the back, off the hands and out of bounds. Again, a good response there by number 23, Christian Prayer. And that one is out of bounds. Bit of a scramble play from Ohio State. Gracie, we love that word. We've used it so many times in the past, but we haven't used it much tonight because both teams have been fairly clean, and I mean, just a little bit out of system right now, Ohio State, but they'll regroup. Service error for the Flyers. 12 for the Buckeyes. Now 8 for Lewis. Miscommunication, but a good recovery. Results in a free ball, though, for the Buckeyes. And Wright sets it up to Stevens. A bit of a collision there, but both players up. And
we are looking like
there was a big block there, number 8, Wright. The setter has been extremely active at the net.
Right.
You know, both offensively and defensively right now. Paula, Morgan, Vimachil off the hands and out of bounds.
Back to service, Max Rocky.
And Rocky is long. score now 7-4, and Wright will serve for the Buckeyes.
Wow.
Oh, and down.
Wow. That was a great up, though.
Christian Prayer. I think that our staff will have to check for a hole in that ceiling after this game.
It goes to the same side every time,
mean,
too. Right
the
there.
light is shaking right
Right.
now, and I don't mean that like metaphor. I mean, it's physically shaking and probably also shaking. But again, the response has just been huge from him.
Oh, wow.
Big block there. Good to see Michael Sack getting back out onto the court right now. And we have Michael Sack and Peter V. Mitchell on the floor right now, which, you know, that's not something that we see very often, but something that could be expected tonight. Right, Pasture, big blocks here. Michael Sack and Cole Brillhart. Michael Sack coming up big. Score even at 7. V. Mitchell will serve. Good placement there and good power for the Buckeyes.
Chicken Pasture serving.
Wow.
Great save.
Great save by Nico Paula. Blocked and out of bounds. Point Flyers, Max Rocky. Nico Paula has been on fire tonight. And I mean, he's been frustrated with himself, but I think that that just speaks volumes as to what he knows that he is capable of, because he has just come up big time and time again, really keeping this Flyer team locked in. Pasture to Stevens, free ball for Lewis. Michael Sack. Morgan with the dump, but comes back over Morgan. Brillhart.
Ooh,
Good save
cross-body.
there. And a good set by the libero Poole. And good recovery there by Max Rocky. Christian
Good
Prayer.
set.
Christian
Yeah.
Prayer. Wow.
That was amazing.
Nico Paula and Christian Prayer.
Great set by Nico.
So not only, so out of system on both sides, we saw a great set by number 2 Poole, also the libero, and then Nico Paula, an amazing set, getting Lewis the point. Christian Prayer serves into the net. Oh, that's just such a, you know, a buzzkill, you could say, because after a play like that, a service error is just, oof, something that you don't want. Takes off the tape. Good save, Max Rocky. To Christian Prayer, blocked at the net, and Michael Sack losing sight. And I think, Gracie, that's something you could speak on. Just losing sight of that ball is just, oof,
So frustrating.
so frustrating. Right, Rocky, Morgan, Brillhart.
Oh.
Ooh, and that one is out of bounds. Seems like he was looking to throw it off the block there. I mean,
Right.
right, Rocky. Morgan to Sack. Again, out of bounds.
We just really need to execute right now.
And
I think that's what we're having trouble with.
I think Coach Danfriend would agree. He's going to call a timeout. Keegan, you're exactly right. It's just the last, you know, it's the last key component that's missing, and it's just
And the winning number is
really, it's limiting the Flyers right now. I think that they're playing so scrappy that if they were able to be a little bit more tidy, I think that they could have this game in the bag. And I mean, this Ohio State team, not to discredit them, but I think that they're not playing to the level of scrappiness that this Flyers team is.
Right. And I think when you're in kind of like a scramble, it's a lot harder to feel confident in swinging away and really taking risks when you know that there's just like already so much on the line, or you've lost so much in the past couple plays. So.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And Keegan, what do you think so far of this Ohio State team and how they're matching up?
You know, they're actually executing. So
They are. I mean,
like right now they have all the key components down. So.
And looking at some of the stats, I mean, the way that they're hitting quite a bit better than our Flyers are, and I think that it kind of the stats will speak for themselves. But if the stat sheet could say the level of grittiness or effort, I think it would be in favor of the Flyers. But sometimes, you know, you need a little bit more than that. It's good to see the energy still remaining high. I mean, again, this Flyer team will not show any lack of energy no matter how this game is going. They're still dancing, singing, high-fiving, and the sportsmanship, as always, is another aspect that's enjoyable to watch from this Flyers team. That's a service error number 11, Justin Howard. 13 now for the Buckeyes. Score is 12-10. Buckeyes lead. Brillhart serves short. Wetzel to right. Ooh, a good save, but not much you could do there. Christian Perry's defense has been very strong tonight. I think that he's doing a good job getting to those balls, but can't make much of the second ball there for the Flyers. Paula, Morgan, Rocky. Ooh, a big kill there by Max Rocky. Max Rocky has 14 kills now on the night. And Ryan Collins enters the match again for Lewis. And he will serve. He's been a very consistent server for this Flyers team. And we'll see what he can do here. He serves Poole. Right. Wetzel and down. Stevens will serve for Ohio State. And that is out of bounds. Fortunate there for the Flyers. Score now 12-14. This Ohio State team now has 14 service errors. Morgan serves Poole right out to Pasture. Wow.
That's a great block.
Max Rocky getting that block there. Couldn't have come at a better time and could not have been on a better person, because Pasture has been nearly impossible to stop tonight. So seeing him, slowing him down is a great momentum builder. Let's see if this Flyer team can capitalize there.
Good.
Dig.
Great recovery for Brillhart, but too close to the net, and the Buckeyes getting that point back. I mean, could have been a net violation. I mean, it looked like it was shaking a little bit, but no, I don't even know if there's any challenges remaining right now for this Flyers team.
I don't know if it would be in our favor anyways.
Yeah, I agree. We've been not so lucky so far with those. And it's a great sight to see right now, regardless of the score, the communication and the positivity remaining on the Flyers side, and it's starting so far with what it looks like. Number 4, Nico Paula, who is just a freshman, but he has such a great voice on the court, and he's very fun to watch. And so far, he's really been doing a good job of keeping his team level-headed. And another service error there, and that's now 15. And it's, even though the Buckeyes have come up with both of the sets, you start to imagine what this game would be like if there weren't 15 service errors on their side.
For sure. And it's just, sometimes it's just so easy to control too, just a point that you can for sure just, you know, put the ball in play.
And that's a big point there again for Lewis. And Max Rocky will return to the line. We haven't seen very many changes with this Buckeyes side, but for Lewis, we've seen, you know, a couple of.
Wow.
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 We've seen a couple of rotations, but I mean, with the Buckeyes playing so consistent as they are right now, it's, you know, it's kind of a matter of why would you change what's working? And I think that right now what's working for them is really number 7 Pasture, Stevens, and I mean Wetzel as well. So Prayer.
Great swing.
Wow, a great swing by Prayer. A very awkward body positioning, almost having to contort his body to reach that ball, but making most of it. And I mean, Keegan, how hard is it to kind of move your body like that? And I mean, just the pace and the flexibility that you have to have.
It's just hard. Like, you just have to get used to it and practice it a lot.
Right.
But Christian's just good at it.
Pasture.
Oh, wow.
Christian Jacob Pasture has been so consistent tonight, and he is just so powerful, and sometimes it's just a little bit less is more, but.
Right. Less is more.
Pool to right, out to Wetzel, and that one's out of bounds, off the hands. And Pasture will serve again. Stevens. Seems like he wanted that point. It will go to Lewis, but we do have a challenge right now. Coach Birch is going to challenge. I believe this might be his second challenge of the night. Maybe his first.
I think it's the first.
First challenge of the night. And ladies, what is he challenging there, do you think?
A touch on the block.
Touch on the block. And what do we think? Well, Keegan, what do you
not
think?
gonna
You've
say.
been pretty accurate so far.
I don't think there's been a touch, if I'm going to be
guess
honest.
we'll
I don't
see.
think there's a touch.
Yeah, I can't speak on that one because I don't think I was watching really what was going off there. I'm trying to see. I can't imagine being this official. Her eyes probably hurt from looking at that iPad. Oh my! But staying diligent, which we appreciate. And thinking about some of our seniors, I mean, it's crazy to think that these are some of the last sets that they'll play here in Neil Carey. And I mean, what year are you guys?
Sophomore.
Yeah, we're both sophomores.
So 2 sophomores. I am now, I guess you could say I'm retired.
Retired.
But my senior night was really amazing. And Lewis does such a good job of celebrating our student athletes. They made it so special. My teammates made it special. My coaches, the parents, the students. It was just a great atmosphere. And it was such a great way to say goodbye. And it's crazy to think that you'll be saying goodbye to a sport. I mean, it makes you emotional.
Right.
Like, you grow up playing it. Soccer, I think that you start a little bit younger than volleyball, because I started playing when I was 3 and 4 years old.
Oh, yeah.
When did you guys start playing volleyball? Because I heard from the boys, they were like, I was, high school. I'm like, high school.
Yeah. I was 8 years old. I think for like men's volleyball, they usually start at like 8th grade.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is crazy
Middle
to think
school.
about.
Yeah, men's volleyball, I feel like it's not as common as, women's, but I mean, my mom's coached my whole life, so I've been in a gym, but I probably haven't been playing as long as Keegan.
Oh, and there's a touch. I am. Yikes.
So that's going to stay with the Buckeyes. Pasture will serve. Dan Friend just not lucky tonight. I don't know. Maybe he picked a penny up when it wasn't on his or something, because he is just coming up short. Losing that one. Well, winning that one was Coach Birch, but losing the point, Dan Friend. Seaver Drolsom is into the match. And tough to see that.
I would say hit the antenna, but I'm not doing the best with those now.
I kind of give up with the challenging. But this Ohio State bench is also fun to watch as well during the challenges. They're similar to our Flyers bench with how they celebrate, so fun to watch them.
Yep.
And there is a bit of a conversation going right now, but the play's gonna resume.
Michael Sachs got a bloody nose.
Yeah, so there is an injury on the court right now. They're gonna make a substitution. They're looking right now to make sure there's no blood on the court, but there is. So I'm going to clean that up and move on. But oh, I'm sorry. I guess they're still looking, but just needing to make sure, there are several rules about injuries, and they want to be particular. This officiating staff is not having an easy night.
No.
They have been challenged themselves quite a bit, so Michael Sachs gonna step aside and get a little bit of a breather. But yeah, going back to our conversation about, being a senior and having senior night, I mean, it's incredible to think of what these players will do beyond Lewis.
Right.
There are so many opportunities for them and to stay involved and engaged in their career, because Jason Gibbs will be returning as a GA, which is great to see from him. I've heard that Jared, I think it's Phelan, excuse me. He is going to be coaching, I think, at LSU, or being an assistant there, from what I've heard, or he's looking, but I believe LSU is on his checklist. So it's great to see for women's volleyball. So it's great to see things like that coming from our Flyers, and such big things. I mean, this little school, it's funny when you tell people, I go to Lewis, and they ask, oh, where's that? It's near Chicago. And then they're like, oh, they're the one with the volleyball team. It's like, yep, that's us. So our student athletes do some amazing things, and it's going to be exciting to see. Big point there for Lewis. Another service error, and Coach Birch right now looking a little bit frustrated, but he's still keeping us cool. They have those first 2 sets in their pocket, but I mean, the service errors are just 16 now for the Buckeyes. Prayer will serve for Lewis. And off the hands and out of bounds.
That was a really good pass, though.
Yeah. Again, it just comes down to that execution, and they definitely are executing right now.
Yeah.
Pasture. Stevens. point Buckeyes. Score 22-18.
Looks like Dan Friend's calling a timeout.
Yeah, and we're going to have another timeout right now for the Flyers. They need to gather themselves a little bit. I mean, this match is kind of slipping. Not in their favor. It's slipping away from them right now. 22-18. And we saw a substitution, one of the first few substitutions right now for the Buckeyes. Kyle Toon entered the match to serve for the Ohio State, and he is a sophomore from Downers Grove, Illinois, so he is not too far from here.
Oh.
Yeah, it's good to see such a turnout in Neil Carey, and you know, thinking back a few years ago when there was no one allowed in this gym, and it was, you know, everyone had to stay 6 feet apart. Glad to have moved on from that, and it's just crazy to think that some of these players have been, you know, athletes through those times. I mean, not having fans and having to wear a mask outside at soccer practice was not something fun for me. But awesome to see the turnout here.
This University will come back. Flyers!
And both teams return to the court, and Toon's going to serve. Excuse me, Tooney. Paula, good up. Morgan to Prayer.
Oh,
that is
wow.
A big block. Number 18, Cole Young.
That was an awesome block.
And the Buckeyes definitely feeling a lot of hype after that play.
That
I mean,
was really good.
Yeah, he shut him down, and it's hard to shut a player like Christian Prayer down like that. Tooney ticks off the tape.
Oh, wow. Those
are
really rough.
And just like that, it's game point.
Oh, and it looks like he's challenging something.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well use it in this instance. Yeah, Tooney coming in off the bench. I mean, that's big for him. And I think that he's really helping this Ohio State team in this third set. The first 2 sets are some of my favorite that I've seen in Neil Carey so far, but they're also some of my least favorite because, wow, that was so tough. I mean, Antonio Elias Rodriguez in the first set, that play was just unfortunate. There's no other word that you could use, unfortunate. And then in the second set, they battled it out. I think it was 27, up to 27 points. And I think that when it came down to it, again, it was the execution that failed the Flyers. Point's going to stand with the Buckeyes.
Yep.
Not sure if that was just kind of breaking the momentum up from that team.
Maybe, yeah.
A tactic used by Coach Friend. But Tooney takes off the tape, dug up by Rocky Morgan. Seaver Drolson.
Wow.
Amazing swing.
That was really good.
Big from Seaver Drolson, just a freshman. He's from Norway. He's a great addition to this Flyers team, and he's a fun guy to talk to for sure. And it's crazy to think how, you know, he's not from here, and he's been just fitting in so well. And he mentioned that to me. He's like, I love, you know, learning new things all the time. And that's going to be the game, and none other than number 7, Jacob Pashier, getting that game point. It's been such a tough battle between these 2 teams, but it has been a pleasure to watch. The Flyers are going to come back on Saturday. It's their senior night. I'm sure they're going to want to get this last home win. So make sure to tune in then. But thank you so much for tuning in, staying with us tonight. We'll see you again Saturday.